It's been quite the start to 2015. Sun-diving comets, one of them rivaling Lovejoy 2011 and Comet Ison in grandeur. We've seen solar activity. Solar tornadoes. Coronal holes. Back at Earth, we've had earthquakes. We've seen amazing sights and learned from amazing animations. We've seen volcano eruptions. Tornado season has begun as well. Apparently that now includes India as well. We've seen a number of tropical storms already. These are mostly southern hemisphere cyclones with a couple West Pacific typhoons in the mix. Blue is storm formation. Red is significant storm wind intensification. We are going to come back to this chart later in the video. The event of the first quarter goes to the Sun. An X2.2 solar flare erupted on March 11th amidst a flurry of solar flares that concluded by erupting several CMEs before exiting the Earth-facing disk. Two of those delivered interplanetary shockwaves in succession, lighting up the aurora, pushed the Van Allen belts closer to lower and lower L shells. Solar plasma broke into our atmosphere as Earth's magnetic shield lost a small battle, leaving us with a level 4 geomagnetic storm that ranked as the strongest such storm of the cycle. Indeed, we saw numerous electrical glitches accompanying that solar storm. This chart shows the solar flaring for the entire first quarter of 2015. Blue are the M1 events and higher, red the M5 events and higher, including the X-flare. If you are one of those photographic memory people, you are noticing how similar this looks to the tropical storm activity chart. Let me go ahead and put them together on the same chart for you. This is, of course, the Uyen system, Kong-Popp's hypothesis, the observer's pleasure to investigate. In fact, the only tropical storm activity uptick without solar flaring activity was in mid-February. However, at this time, a solar wind sector boundary passed Earth, followed 60 hours later by a coronal hole stream impact that caught our magnetosphere off guard just a little bit as well. There were 26 earthquakes, magnitude 6 and higher so far in 2015. 3 of those hitting magnitude 7. If you have been here so far in 2015, you probably know the story. There are now hundreds of you predicting the upticks, and I don't think that train can be stopped. Here are the 6 and 7 magnitude quakes so far. As a bit of a review, during the first significant uptick at the end of January, a powerful southern coronal hole rolled past the Earth-facing disk. The longest and most active uptick took place 2 weeks later, where that aforementioned sector boundary crossing matched up with 6 straight days of highly significant coronal hole activity. On the day of the Indonesia 7.0, that same southern extension whipped around to face Earth. A mid-March uptick was led by dueling polar coronal hole extensions. And the first quarter ended with a bang, following a 15 to 20% corona hole coverage event that rivals just about anything we've seen in the SDO era, and included the largest quake of the year so far, 7.5. Of course, the year began with my wife and I still out on the road in the Mobile Observatory project. For those new observers, we got a 36-foot RV and turned it into a mobile observatory with help from you guys. We had more than 70 stops around the US and Canada, hitting more than 45 states and provinces. If I can re-share a fun moment, an object out of the ordinary caught our eye in Tucson, enough for me to get out the scope. Turns out that our speculations were dashed when it turned out to be a weather balloon, which promptly ruptured. Beautifully, I might add. Saw the payload falling as well. Believe me, trying to manually track two falling objects with a Nexstar Celestron is not so easy, especially when you have to watch through the iPhone you are using to record the event. The first leg of the tour ended in February at the Conscious Life Expo. I've probably shaken more than 2,000 hands this year, but the most diverse crowd and possibly the most interesting was there in Los Angeles. I got to meet some community celebrities as well. Observatoryproject.com has all the photos, the details, the blog from the tour, the cities we hit, and of course, a bit about why we took the break. My wife is now more than 7 months pregnant with our first child, a girl, and so we've got her home and resting nicely. As many of you know, I am coming out west for a quick leg in just over 2 weeks. I won't have the mobile observatory with me, but these events on the roads have never really needed it to be fun. This leg kicks off in Denver on Saturday, April 18th. One day later, Sunday the 19th, we're going to head over to San Francisco. We'll be in Sacramento one day later with a private event at a local school, and then we will be at PrepperCon in Salt Lake City. After that, I'm going back home for a bit, but in a one-leg event that'll be my first as a father. I'll be out in Phoenix this June at the 2015 Electric Universe Conference doing back-to-back solar terrestrial interaction lectures with Dr. Uyen. Check out the website for details on those stops. Of course, SuspiciousObservers.org underwent a little change for the new year too, didn't it? Our old style was replaced with a much simpler and cleaner presentation, with much more organization to the content as well. Our brand new series, Deeper Look, I guess was destined to be one of your favorites. We've been able to deliver 30 deeper looks into the topics of the news and beyond so far, about 10 per month, averaging one just every couple of days. Fly on the Wall still hasn't missed a weekend show since the website opened in 2013. There have been 13 Saturdays in the first quarter of 2015. That's 13 hours of audio discussion on the topics that matter most to our daily news, ongoing research, and the community at large. Our new podcast segment is another podcast forum run by Trevor and Billy. There are now 12 shows, actually, totaling another 13 hours of material in total. We've had about 26 to 30 hours of material in the first quarter of 2015, on pace to break 100 hours of material again this year. Of course, members, you still have our favorites, now just all found in one place. Starwater, also a look at Agenda 21 from the proponent's view all the way to the wildest conspiracy theories. Just trying to make some sense of it while applying some logic. Electric Earth and Sun has 4 subsections and is likely the most important page we have. There's a ton of information on how human health and behavior is reactive to space weather and cosmic rays in that next section. We also have some other top pages and pages still under construction. Sun Series Supplement is very helpful. Check it out. Also, this is where you get to Yelverton's lab, where Billy uploads all of our experiments videos. Come to think of it, that's another few hours of new material there too. To learn more about me, the people who help out around here, or why I chose the name Suspicious Observers, click the About button. Of course, we also rounded up the first quarter by opening registration for the first ever Observers Conference, Observing the Frontier. This October in Pittsburgh, we will gather. I'll be giving speeches, as well as Adrian from Suspect Sky Channel. August Dunning will be there, impressive track record. A few days ago, we reintroduced Pierre-Marie Robitaille, who will be there, along with David Talbot of the Thunderbolts Project. A number of the prominent observers will be there, and of course so will Dr. Kong Pop Uyen. He'll be speaking as well. So, those who have registered or who will do so soon, the NFL schedule is released on April 17th, and if the Steelers have a home game that weekend, prices of hotels are going to skyrocket. That's Pittsburgh. It is what it is. If you are lucky enough to already know you are coming, you might consider not taking the chance on waiting. There is a very full schedule you can hover over with your cursor to get more information about already, but I'm actually hoping to add a few more before it's all said and done. As always, if you scroll down, you'll find the links referenced in this video, including the conference website, where you can register in minutes. FYI, the VIP Plus tickets are just about gone. VIP is about half gone, and if you just get general admission, you have to take your pick on what to do during lunch on Saturday. Read the choices and see what's best. For VIPs, you automatically get into midday number 1. You only need to select midday number 2 if you prefer that event over number 1. This October, we're in Pittsburgh. We are looking at the start of 2016 for the second event. Right now, Phoenix is the leading candidate for our Southwest location. On the whole, it was an interesting quarter. As always, we'll keep our eyes on everything and keep pushing our extracurriculars forward. Scroll down for your links. Eyes open. No fear. Be safe, everyone.